Love is the perfect Christmas day, and figures released from Deloitte last week show we're willing to splash the cash for the occasion. In fact, the average spend per household in Ireland is €894. 485 of that goes on gifts, almost 260 on foods, and €150 on socialising. Do these figures seem high? Well, shoppers in Limerick's Crescent shopping centre didn't think so.
Sure, anything you'll get now will be 150 or 200. And when you multiply it by 4, it is easy, isn't it? Before there's any Christmas shopping done, you know, for the food and that. Sure, it's grand. It's grand to spend it.
So how many people would you be buying for?
20, 25, 30, yeah. If you add up everybody, it's quite a lot.
Well, there was figures out last week that said that we're the highest spenders in Europe. We spend about €900.
I suppose food as well. Oh, yeah, I could definitely see that has been true, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd believe that, yeah. Especially with big families and all that, you know.
John Davitt is the centre's manager.
We look at Christmas late July, early August in relation to preparing for Christmas, and that starts with we look at the decorations, what's needed, what's required around the centre, who would turn on the lights at Christmas, what kind of we put contingency plans into place in relation to weather. We employ extra staff for traffic externally in the car park, and we employ extra security. The footfall increase is absolutely massive for the month of December, and this is what tenants within the centre look forward to and need.
Does the weather affect then footfall in here? Would you notice a fall off if it was snowing or icy or whatever outside?
No, there's nothing that seems to deter ladies when it comes to coming in and shopping for fashion and getting food and groceries for the family. We find that once they know that there's precautions taken, that they can come and we can provide a safe environment where they can shop, it doesn't deter them.
Research shows that consumers are becoming more savvy.
People are looking for value, there's no doubt about that. One of the key points of the survey this year was that 1 in 5 people, in terms of comparison to last year, are seeking out sales and they want to buy at sale prices. The other interesting trend in relation to people's buying habits, that people are buying earlier, a third of Christmas spend actually now happens in the month of November. A third happens in the first 2 weeks of December. And what I've personally found very interesting, 5% of Christmas spending is happening after Christmas. And again, that tends to people who want to get value, they want to avail of sale prices, and they're very happy to say, if you wait a few extra days, you might get a better value gift or a better value proposition.
The majority of the money we spend at Christmas goes on presents. The research also revealed what we're giving each other. The number 1 gift is books. After that, it's money. Then clothes and shoes. After that, cosmetics and perfumes. And finally, gift vouchers. For parents, however, the big focus is on the children.
Majority of what we spend on presents goes on the kids, so we don't leave the kids wanting. I mean, we have this tendency to make sure that the children enjoy Christmas because, as most people will tell you, Christmas is about children. So we don't want to see our children being disappointed on Christmas, so we're prepared to push the boat out.
In Drogheda, I met mumstown.ie mother of 4, Siobhan O'Neill White, and local businesswoman and mother of 1, Catherine Morgan. Siobhan, when do you start planning for your Christmas?
Our own Christmas around September. And I know that sounds early, but compared to a couple of years ago, we would have less money to spend on Christmas than we did, back, say, 5-6 years ago. So we have to be a little bit clever with what we buy and where we buy it. So just constantly looking out for good deals here and there.
So what kind of stuff then would you be buying at that point?
Yeah, like a tablet, like a child's tablet this year. So we looked at loads of different tablets and a couple of bikes and stuff like that.
So can you give me a rough idea what you would spend on Christmas when you've got 4 kids and
friends
and family?
Maybe €500 or something like that, maybe €500 or €600. It depends.
Would that include food and drink for the 2 weeks?
Possibly not. Possibly not. But like Marks and Spencer have 25% off when you buy 6 bottles of wine this week, so I'll probably get them this week and try my best not to open them before Christmas. And like Lidl has this great cava, it's a tenner, and that would be beautiful on Christmas Day. So again, this is all information that we're sharing on Mumstown about where to get nice things that are not costing a fortune.
So who exactly would you buy it for?
Well,
what we do in our family is just buy for the children. So all my nieces and nephews, and on my husband's side, we'll just buy for the children, and, you know, we'll give the adults a bottle of wine or something. We don't worry too much about the adults because, you know, at the end of the day, then I think when people start to dread Christmas because they worry about the presents. So once the children are looked after, I think that's the main thing. You know, an adult will understand, but children won't understand. So in our family, we just do it for the children. We do Chris Kindle, and then it's much easier.
The extent of our spending is highlighted when we're compared with other European countries.
The spend in Ireland is still number one in Europe, followed closely by Luxembourg, who are on €825, but we're still way ahead. Interestingly, we're falling, but not at the same pace, and Luxembourg is static. And then across Europe, the numbers fall off dramatically. So we do value Christmas. It's something that the Irish people are prepared to spend money on, and it's something that they feel is a very important part of their lives.
Yes, Irish shoppers spend more than any of their European counterparts. The country next to us is Luxembourg. They will spend €825. The Greeks will spend just over €450. In Germany, it's down to €399, while the Polish spend the least. So what do those born outside of Ireland think of our spending?
People have this, how to say it, this fever, Christmas fever in here, yes. So I think so, yeah, they spend loads of money in here for the Christmas, for the presents.
American mum of 3, Jacqueline Wogan, remembers her first Christmas here.
I actually was floored. I was quite floored because the spending is just pretty incredible.
What aspect of the spending then shocked you? All of it.
Everything from the presents to the drink, the food. I would never forget seeing trolleys filled to capacity. And the country would actually shut down universally for the better part of a week, I remember. I think the focus should be back to kind of just spending time together with family and not necessarily what you buy.
The Irish spend during the festive season is set against a backdrop of austerity. Has this impacted on our attitude in any way?
The numbers, they are down on last year, 1.7%, as you might expect in times of austerity. And whereas that number is very high, in fact, it continues to be the highest in Europe. It is way off the peak. In fact, the highest we'd recorded for Christmas spending in Ireland was back in 2007, just before the crash. And at that stage, Irish households spent €1,430 on Christmas.
Now, interestingly, people are kind of becoming more savvy, and they're trying to plan and budget for Christmas more than they used to. So a lot of people are using savings, and there's less reliance this year on credit cards than previously. But if people haven't got it, they're still going to spend it. That seems to be the message.
So what is it about the Irish that makes us spend so much?
Traditionally, we're a very religious society. Christmas is one of the key events in the Christian church. So we've almost had this double permission, which is the national yearning for a party, and we have this strong Christian ethos, which is around celebrating the birth of our Lord. So we put the two of those things together, and it all adds up to perfectly reasonable excuse to get together and have a right good old time.
And when it comes to present giving, why do you think we give so much more than our European neighbours?
I think, again, if we look at our history, you know, the people that went to the States, went to the UK, when they were coming back home to connect with family, there was a sense of being able to show that I had made it when I was away, so I come bearing gifts. And that may have triggered off the response here, which is, well, we need to be able to show that we're as good as the ones coming back from elsewhere, so we'll give gifts in return. So I think we've, you know, again, we have that history of gift giving and gift receiving. Maybe what's new to us is over the last 10, 15 years, there was a lot more money around, so people really then started to go and buy the bigger gifts, the more maybe outrageous in some cases. I think that's partly to do with wanting to give gifts, partly to do with maybe having too much money and not being quite mature enough to know how to manage that.
The Irish will blow almost $1.5 billion on food, drink and presents this festive season. We appear happy to park our money woes, forget about the economy and enjoy spending on those close to us. We've done it through the good times and the bad, and nothing, it seems, is going to change that.
All right, coming up after the break, we're talking about the shocking conditions